just inside here to see how it looks inside this place. Not sure if it's going to work, but we'll try. So the first thing I have to do is address the elephant in the room. It's been 4 years since I made a video. So, I'm sorry, but I'm back. I think the longer you put off making a video too, you get to a point where you just think, you know what, I either start now, hit record, make a video, break the cycle of not making videos, or I will never make a video again on this platform. And I've got to a point now where it's gone from being a hobby, this whole creating content, to now pretty much my main source of income. And I think over the last 4 years, I've learned a lot. I'm still learning. And I feel like there's stuff that I can learn off you guys, I can share with you guys, I could possibly help you on your creative journey. Here I am, back making content again. So if you are new to this channel, I make content, videographer, photographer, based in Norway. If you're into that kind of content, making things, learning things, this is probably the spot you want to hang out in. So hopefully the community that we had before hasn't gone too far and can still be involved. If you're new, welcome. And that's enough waffling. So basically what I wanted to look at today is creating spec campaigns or spec adverts for companies. And I think there's many reasons why you should consider doing it. One of the main reasons is, one, you get to practice working on a skill in an area that you might not be comfortable in. So me personally, my background, I've been working in sports, I've been working in content creation for brands and companies, but there are elements to my job that gets a bit monotonous over time because you're making the same thing over and over and over again. So with spec ads, they help you create content that you would like to be hired for. Another thing is it helps you build a portfolio in a completely different field that you might be creating content in. Or say you're new into this industry of creating content, you might want to reach brands that there's no way that you can necessarily just reach out to a brand and say, hey, hire me, I've got an idea in mind. But if you're creating content, working on a portfolio that you can show somebody and say, this is what I can do, this is what I'm capable of, it gives you a better position to be able to negotiate some time of work in the future, and you might attract brands that you didn't even think about in that same space. So what I want to do with you is talk to you about an idea that I have in mind. So one thing that I've picked up is my wife's jacket that she's been wearing recently. She bought it from a brand. I'm not going to say the brand's name yet for 2 reasons. One, I'm going to butcher it because of the pronunciation. And secondly, I don't need to expose that yet. So this is the jacket in question. It's a unique design. It's a Norwegian design to it. Attention to detail is really, really cool and really, really unique. You won't be able to see it properly yet, but I love the colorway. I love the color design on it. And also it's just, like I said, attention to detail, little things like a hood. It's a really unique hood, but I'll get my wife to put it on and she can like model it a bit better. That's just a really cool jacket. And I was thinking, wouldn't it be cool to do a spec ad or a little campaign on this jacket? Milanote is a tool that is really good for brainstorming, creating concepts, putting your ideas down. I use Milanote all the time when I'm working with a client. For me, the process starts with Milanote, where I get my storyboard together or I get a mood board together. I share it with the client so they can see what I have in mind for the shoot. If you have a brand in mind that you like to work with, or a brand in mind that you would like to work with in the future, it could be worth doing a spec ad where you simply get a product. You think to yourself, how can I make this product marketable for the target audience that that brand is trying to target? And then you create an ad campaign around that. And that's what we're going to try and do. Let's see if this is a video that can spark some kind of passion inside you to create something outside of your comfort zone. I would say that's one thing that I've always kind of tried to push, is stepping outside of my comfort zone for opportunities that arise. There's many times where I go into a job and I think, have I overstretched myself? But the things that you learn when you do that often leads to you end up growing. It often leads to you buying more equipment, but it also leads to you growing and your comfort zone gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So my comfort zone now compared to how it was 4 or 5 years ago is, yeah, it's huge. And I look forward to seeing where it is in 5 years' time. Again, that's enough waffling. We need to get back into the video. So we're going to jump into Milanote. I'm going to show you some brainstorming ideas we have for this jacket, and it's good to be back. It's good to be back. Okay, so the first thing you have to do when you're doing a spec ad is almost take your creative freedom or your style and put it to the side. Trying to pretend that you're working for the company, because what you try to create has to almost mimic the style that we're already seeing on their website, on their social media platforms. So what I do, first of all, I kind of go to their website. I try and look for any kind of text I see, even the about us section as kind of a good giveaway because it tells you what they're trying to do. Stylish clothes, practical for any activity, hiking, stipping a flat white outside a coffee shop. Our designs let you do both. So like what I also try and do then is get a couple of pictures from their social media accounts and I'll put it onto this mood board to give me an overall feel of what it's about. I also like to create like a color palette for some of the clothes. So I can tap on a color palette, I can press this cursor which gives me this detector for colors, and I can take it to a color, and once I press on that color it becomes a new palette, and all of a sudden this whole mood board page starts to feel a bit branded towards the company. What I noticed about the pictures that they use too is that they use a lot of negative space for that minimal look. There's not many colors other than the clothes that I use, so this is a great example of it, of the tones. Even this shot here, it's a video, and what I've noticed that they're using very old type of film, old retro cameras that give that grainy look that is kind of in at the moment. So that's something that to incorporate. There's so much you can do. There's so much you can do with Milanote. It's such a good tool for collaboration, but also for just getting your ideas down. So you can stand your feet like a bit wider apart. Okay. Yeah. And you can do that, yeah, and then you can look directly at me and we'll do one look in that way as well, okay? Okay, 3, 2, 1. And then another one in that position, 3, 2, 1. Tight, 3, 2, 1. Okay, detail. I'm just gonna take a shot of the button there, see how that looks. Like whatever you want to do, like it's a casual pose for you. It's like pretend I'm not even here and you're just like chatting to me. Yeah. Bang, that's it. Okay. We're gonna use the hood. So if you put the hood over your head, okay. I like it. Okay, then stay directly at me. Nice. Perfect. Just inside here to see how it looks inside this place. Not sure if it's gonna work, but we'll try. Okay, here we go. Straight in, there we go. Okay, that's it. Okay, that's good. Okay, so once I got the pictures up, edited and selected a few, I went to the website of the company in question and looked at the item that they were talking about, which was this Bergen poncho. And if I was trying to create some kind of like campaign around it, I thought it'd be good to get an idea of what this item is and kind of what it, just kind of what it's all about really. So I looked at the like about me, put in the key features, looked in some of the materials that made it special, the details and all that kind of stuff. And then I wanted to try and follow, like I mentioned to you before, about what the company was about. So the about us, like our story, it gives an overview of what the company is all about and the feel that they're going for. So I took some text here, took some text from the product, put that then into a ChatGPT to create a campaign around it. That campaign then led me to using this idea of, I use Flash, which the company doesn't really use for their pictures, but I thought with the shadows, with the darkness, with being in the woods, it might create a good, unique type of look. So most of the shots that I used for the campaign itself were the ones with a soft light that doesn't look like there was too much flash being used. And as you can see here, I've gone for this slogan, a journey through shadow and light where the wild shapes the way. Might be a bit too deep, but it is what it is. And then we use some of the images that I think reflected what we looked at when we had that mood board, where you've got some wide shots, such as this, which is kind of a full body. There's kind of these wide shots here that is good for full body. Then you have your tight shots, which give a bit of the product, such as the sleeve, unique sleeve, the unique button, the clasp on there. And then you've got your mid shots, which again, I would say like this one here is kind of a mid shot along with this one on the mid shot, which gives a unique overview of the design that's got the special clip on the hood that we mentioned before. Again, just highlighting the product, what's unique about it, lightweight and flexible material, waterproof with a big hood, moodboard reflective tags. All these little things I help give an overview of what the product's all about. I took so many pictures and so many cool pictures in there. And a big shout out to Liv as well, who modeled for me that day. I would say go follow her on Instagram, but she only posts once a year, so it's not worth it. So that's an overview then of how it could look in a campaign. Like in a feed, if you imagine that was your feed, where you've got 3 posts there, you've got like a tight, you've got a wide, you've got a mid, you've got a tight, you've got a mid, and you've got another tight in there as well. And just those 6 shots alone give a feel of what a feed would possibly look like if you were doing a product launch. So I'm happy with those, how those pictures came out. There's still some content that I will make from this. I've already posted on my Instagram, so if you want to check that out on Instagram, go to D Saunders Media and yeah, give it a like, give it a follow. It'll be much appreciated. So I just wanted to try and inspire you guys to go out there and also just try and create spec ads, get inspired by content. It's very easy to get caught up in making the same content over and over again, and just pushing yourself out of your comfort zone a little bit can be really helpful in creating that spark for creativity. Yeah, that's pretty much a wrap. I hope you found something useful from this video. If you've got any questions, feel free to drop them in the comment section. I will reply to every single question that comes up on a video. I will man down. So if you have any questions, feel free to drop them below. I will answer every question in there. And I hope you got something from this video, and I will see you guys in the next one.